Hello, and welcome back to part 2 of my deck collection culling series. So today I cleared off a shelf of a really fairly small bookshelf, and there were almost 50 tarot decks on that shelf. So they were, there were several deep and piled high, and yeah, so I added a few more into this lot, maybe 5 or 6 that weren't on that shelf. So without further ado, I'd like to begin. Oh, I did want to say one thing. So here's my plan. I'm going to go through shelf by shelf, section by section. I'm thinking I'm probably going to end up with 5 or maybe 6 of these videos. And then when I'm done, the last video I'll make of these series are all the decks that I have either up for sale or trade or giveaway. I'm going to be putting in the no pile or the not keep pile, I'm sure, some mass market decks. And I'm not going to sell those. Why would someone buy a used deck that they can get for 20 bucks online or at a local Barnes & Noble or something? So there will be some decks I'll be giving away. So, if someone wants to trade or wants to buy a deck that ends up in the, the pile where I'm giving it away or not keeping it, maybe I'll throw in a mass market deck if they want it. So that's my thought. Let me know what y'all think. Anyway, let's get started. So right here, right next to me, there's 2 decks. This is the Druidcraft, and I have 2 versions of it. Why? Why do I have 2 versions of it? Well, for years I watched as people expounded upon how great this deck looked when trimmed. And so finally, after ages upon ages of procrastinating, I'm sorry, I should put these closer. I decided, you know what? I'm going to trim this deck. Now, did I trim the version I had? No. I bought a second version to trim. Why? I do not know. But now I have 2 versions of it. And, the thing is, I want to work with and keep the trimmed version. I really do like that better. I edged this in sort of an antique gold, and I just love the trimmed version. So what I'm going to do is put this one, the original deck I bought with the big guidebook. So I'm going to keep that, and I'm going to get rid of the one with the small book. So, yay. 1 down, 1 gone. Next up, this is the new Palladini. I quite like this deck. I use it seasonally, so I'm going to keep it. David Palladini, as probably many of you know, is also the artist for the Aquarian Tarot. Next up, Margaret Peterson Tarot. This I'm putting in the maybe. So I just got this a couple months ago. AGM, on the 20th anniversary of this deck, re-released it with the original burgundy borders. I guess they switched over to sort of a cream color border, but these are the original borders, and so oh man, it is really beautiful, isn't it? This woman, Margaret Peterson, took 20 years to paint and create this deck. And for each one of the majors, there's a poem that she wrote. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm going to put it in the maybe. And if a few months goes by and I don't use it, then I will see about moving it along. But it is really freaking gorgeous. Wow. All right, so that's a maybe. Next up, this is Tarot of the Divine. I have the storybook that goes along with this. And I backed this deck solely because of this card, the moon card. I'd love to just take that card out and keep it. But I think actually Yoshitani, the artist and creator of this, sells prints, so maybe I can just get a print. Anyway, I really like this deck, but I just found that I don't use it. And I didn't feel like when I looked at the stories that they went deep enough. They just were very sort of superficial. Like, you know, she Googled the story and got a Wikipedia and cut and pasted. I don't know if that's the case or not, but that's how it feels. So anyway, I'm not going to keep this one. And I'm kind of surprised, but I just have to release some of these things. So this and the storybook that goes with it will be going in the not keep giveaway, sell, whatever pile. All right, next. Star Seeker. I love this. This is by Nikki Ferrada, and I backed the Oracle that she also created. It should be coming soon. I'm not sure when. This is a keep. Super Lunaris. Love, love, love this deck. This is without, oftentimes it's under my altar in most used or well loved or whatever section. I'll be keeping that one. No brainer on this one. This is the indie version of Ellen Lorenzi Prince, The Dark Goddess. I don't use this a lot. Sometimes when I'm feeling in a dark mood or bleak or whatever, I'll pull a card or two. And then of course, usually I'll pull a few cards from this deck. It'll go into the October rotation and November. So that I'm keeping. This is the Tabula Mundi. Oh man, this is by M.M. Moline. I bought this from her at Reader Studio, and this is a Thoth-based, and I want to say, I think this is one of, if not my most favorite versions of the Empress. I love this card. In fact, I bought the print from MM. So I have the print, and this is an amazing guidebook, so I will be keeping that one. This I backed, Chakra Healing Tarot by Malamir Logan, art by E.C. Mazur. Never use it. It's an indie deck. It's lovely. I'll show you a few. Oh, I have the little card. Oh, it has a nice chunky guidebook. So they're color coded for each of the energy centers. So you can see how that works. They're really lovely, but I have to say, I think I've used it just a couple of times. So this is a little thank you card. All right, so that's gonna go in the trade sell pile. Next up, Tarot of Trees. I really love this. I have the little guidebook that goes with it, but I haven't really used it in quite some time, so I'm going to put it in the maybe pile. Ancient Italian. I got this when I thought I wanted to study pip decks, because the people in the Marseille tarots kind of give me the creeps, those googly eyes. So I thought I'd try this, but I'm not ever going to use it. So I'm going to put this in the giveaway, sell, trade pile. Urban Tarot. I love this deck. I really do. So I have my extended family is from New York City. So I have spent a lot of time in New York, and I really love that city. It's incredible. And so the energy of New York City is so well captured by Robin Scott. in this deck. And I had been on the fence about buying this deck, and I procrastinated, and then the next thing I knew, I had put in an order, but I don't know, something happened, and they posted that they were done and that the deck was picked up, I think by US Games, and was only going to be available as a mass market. And I was crushed. So I reached out to Robin Scott and said, oh my gosh, I don't know what happened. I put it in order, but I never heard back. And I really wanted to get the indie version. And they said, I have 3 decks. I'll sell you one. So that's how I got the indie version. Sometimes it works reaching out to the creator. Sometimes it doesn't, but sometimes it does. All right, next up, Tarot of Mystical Moments. This is a real spring deck for me, and I do use it a lot in the spring, so I'm going to keep that one. I have, oops, tipped over, several tarot in a tin. I have the Morgan Greer. I don't need this. I have the regular version that I love. I'm going to keep that, and this one is going to go in the goodbye pile. So if someone buys a deck from me, maybe they'll get that as a little extra bonus. Tarot de Maria Celia. This one I am going to keep. This is by Leonard Jim Narciso, who also did this tarot in a tin, the Vanessa Tarot, and they're so different. This is a TDM, and this is a kind of a cheeky, fun, I love this. This is just a really upbeat deck. So I'm going to keep those two. And then this Zillet Tarot, I'm not going to keep. That's going to go in the goodbye pile. Next up are 2 decks from Baba Studios. So when I first started getting familiar with Tarot Tube, maybe around 2015 or so, I kept hearing about Baba Studios, all the decks. And I'm like, what the heck is this Baba Studio place? So I kind of FOMO, thought, oh, I got to get one of those decks back in the day when that's where my head was at. So I got this deck. I really wanted the Bohemian Gothic, but it wasn't in print at the time, so I got Tarot of Prague. And it does have the, I don't know if you can see it, it does have the cold stamping on it. It's a lovely deck. This deck, and I don't know if all their decks do, but this deck in particular has a sense of humor, and it's a little cheeky in some places. So I do have the guidebook that goes along with it, and I'm going to put this in the pile of goodbye, because I don't use it, and it's a lovely deck. Someone may want it. All right, next up is my second Baba Studio deck. This was a total FOMO purchase. I think I went back and forth, and I was, I don't know. So this is the little card that goes with it. Again, this has the cold stamping. They do have some seriously good card stock, I'll tell you. So I'm not sure. I don't know about this one. Can you see? You can't really see that cold stamping. It's very cool. I don't feel as definitively no as I did about Tarot of Prague. So I think for now, I'm going to put this in the maybe pile. And then when I get the Bohemian Gothic, which I'm supposed to get the end of October or into November, I'll pick between that one and this one. And I have a feeling I'm going to go with the Bohemian Gothic. But if anyone's interested in this one, just let me know. All right, so that's a maybe. Well, this is a yes. Okay, I'm not doing too bad. All right, Darkness of Light. It's going in maybe. In fact, I think I'm going to put it in goodbye. I just never use it. And to be honest, I mean, I really like this deck, but the Celestial cards bug the heck out of me. Let me see if I can... I edged it in black. I'd like to just find one of the... Oh, yeah. I don't like stars, moons, and suns with goofy faces on them. That's just a big NO for me. And since star, moon, and sun are 3 of my favorite cards, and I don't like them, I'm putting that in the goodbye pile. Wow, I thought that was going to be a maybe. Progress. This is first edition, The Wild Unknown. My daughter gifted this to me and the book when she was in college, when this first came out. And I remember finding out after she gifted it to me that the deck cost $40 and the book cost $20, $60. This was in like 2010 or something. And I thought, oh my God, $60 on a deck. And from a college student, I was just so touched. But this deck touched her heart. And I guess because I introduced her to tarot, she wanted me to have it too. So I don't use this deck a lot, in fact, rarely, but I do have a sentimental attachment to it. And since it's a first edition, as well as having a sentimental attachment to it, I'm going to keep it. All right. Woo-wee. Next up, this is a pile of black and white decks. So this is the box for the Daughters of the Moon, the painted version, but in it is the black and white edition. This I got when it first came out. Oh, I love this card so much. When it first came out in, I don't know, 1980 somebody. And I held on to it. Oh, I have both of the Lovers card versions. I don't know what happened. The other version, I lost one of the Lovers cards or something. Anyway, this one, I got to keep it. It's a first edition. It's no longer available. And it's one of my favorite decks. So it has sentimental value. And it's a first edition, out of print, no longer available. And I love it. So I will be keeping that one. New Era Elements. This is really more sepia than black and white. I really like this deck. I get some majorly good readings from it. I think some of the objections to this deck, I don't get. The whole animal cruelty thing. It's like, okay, but Ellie Piper, who did it, she's not like in favor of animal cruelty. That's the point of the card. She's against it. I don't know. I love this deck. I'm going to keep it. There's no doubt in my mind. This is called the New Tarot. And it was printed in 1974 in Sausalito, California. I won this as a door prize at Reader Studio one year. First year I think I went in 2015, and I didn't know anything about vintage decks and collecting, and I had no clue. And I won this as a door prize, and I was kind of like, I don't know. So Dan Pelletier was the person who donated it as a door prize, and I took it up to him and I said, you know, thank you so much for this, but I doubt I'm ever going to use it, so I don't want to take it and then not use it. And he said, you know what? He said, you should really keep it. He said, think about it. It's from 1974, and this was now 2015. He said, and it's made out of paper. And it's in mint condition. It survived all those decades, and it's paper. And I thought, wow, okay, I will keep it, thank you. And then after I started thinking about it, I realized that in 1974, I was living in the Bay Area doing my college internship at a place called Family Planning Alternatives, where I had to cross a picket line of anti-abortion people every day when I went to work. A whole other story. Anyway, I thought, oh, I have a connection, because in 1974, when that deck was printed, I was living in the Bay Area. So again, sentimental value, and it's an old deck. It might be my oldest deck, 1974. Really cool. All right, next one up, Dark Days square deck. I really like it. Never use it, or hardly ever use it. So I'm going to put it in the maybe pile. I'm not ready to say goodbye, but I don't think I'm going to keep it. This is the, I think it's called the Moon Void Tarot. In this bag. I think it came in a tuck box and I put it in this bag. I don't remember. I like this deck a lot. I haven't used it much, but when I first, it's straight up Rider-Waite-Smith with, oh, there's every once in a while a little blob of red. It follows the character who's the creator and artist through the tarot story. So I probably am I think I'll put this in the maybe. I'm not sure about this one. It's out of print now. She did reissue it in like a pink, black and white, which I wasn't fond of. So I'm going to put that in maybe. All right, onward and upward. Next. This might hurt. This is the indie version of this, and when I first got it, I used it endlessly, and I really liked it, and I still like it a lot. But ever since I got the Numinous Tarot and now the Fifth Tarot, I feel like those two have replaced this one. So I don't think I'm going to keep this. I think I'll put it in maybe, but if anyone has any interest in it, let me know. It's the indie edition. Next up, this is Prismavision and Cosmovision. Definitely keeping this one. I really like this one a lot. Boy, this was kind of a kooky Kickstarter. It had like thousands of backers with ridiculous amounts of add-ons. James R. Eads. This is like a post-death exploration. So I have always wanted to do some more in-depth work with this one. I have the big book. I have also the, here we go, the art cards, and I am definitely going to keep that one. The Prismavision indie deck, I don't know, let's see, I'm not sure what edition this is. It's got the silver edges, really lovely deck. I got this in 2019. Yes, 5th edition, 2019. So, I think I'm going to let this go. I never use it. Why am I keeping it? Because it's pretty? All right. Okay. Oh, no brainer. Definitely keeping Sasarabito. Oops, upside down. I love this deck. In particular, the Cups Courts. I love. Oh, there's just many cards in here I love. And when before the pandemic, when I was reading much more for the general public, I would use this deck. And people just loved it. People getting readings just loved it. So I'm going to keep that. I love it. No doubt in my mind about that one. Yeah, Intuitive Goddess. Nope, I don't think I'm going to keep this one. All right. Oops. Spirit Within. I really like this. I've used it a lot. It's one of the few decks I have that has a somewhat masculine energy to it, if there is such a thing. It's by Stephen Bright, but I used it a lot when I first got it, and I just haven't used it in a long time. So I'm going to put that in the maybe. Tarot Fauna. This is by Devin Strickler and art by Brittany Burkhardt. This is the sweetest deck, animal deck. I just love this one. So I love the artwork. It's just a very lovely. It's got fox, bears, I think owls, and I don't know, well, for the suits. Oops, you're upside down. Anyway, I'm going to keep it. It's an indie deck. I have the guidebook too, and it's just very sweet, and I like having that. All right. Here we go. 2 decks. I got this one first. I wonder if sometimes I make a note on the guidebooks, the date that I get the deck. Oh, the guidebook is in the closet. This has like a big guidebook that I had to like search out. And I'm glad I did. So I have this one. You know, I really like the big one, but the way that, I think, is it US Games? Yeah, US Games. It feels almost a little stretched out of the artwork. I don't know. So I'm going to put both of, I'm going to keep one or the other, but I'm just not sure which. So I'm going to put these both in the maybe box, and then I'm going to decide which of them I'll keep and which I will get rid of. Okay, this is the Lamb Back Tarot by Auntie Kay. I backed it because I wanted to be supportive of her, and I really wanted this to come out in the world, but I've never used it. So I'm going to put this in the trade or sell pile, goodbye pile. Dame Darcy, this is the Mermaid Tarot, maybe pile. Okay. Ooh, I am making some progress here. Sun and Moon, I love this deck, by Vanessa DeCorp. I'm going to keep that. Our Tarot, this is the indie version, and I use this every March. I pull 1 card a day to honor International Women's Month and International Women's Day. So I do have a purpose for this deck, and the indie version is no longer available, and I've heard people complain about the mass market. So I feel like if I let this go and try to replace it, it wouldn't be the same. So I'm going to keep that. Tarot of the She. I tried. No go. I think I really relate to the Varaxa Tarot better. So this is going in the goodbye pile. Arisoma Tarot. So this is the one with the bottle backs, and it isn't available anymore. And I got one of the last copies of the bottle back. This is the card. So the art is by Pamela Matthews, and she did this in conjunction with Mike Booth, who was a Arisoma dude. And I'm going to put this in the maybe pile because, you know, I was really excited to get the bottle back version. This is a tarot that has like 116 cards. So what it's got is it's got 2 versions, 2 sets of the majors. So it's got the major arcana and then what they call the major arcana return. So there's 2 versions of each going out and coming back. So it is interesting. And then there's some archangel cards at the bottom. So I'm putting that in the maybe. I'm not sure about that one. I know I can't replace it. But I guess what I have to think is, if I'm not using it, what, am I a collector? I don't think I'm a collector. I think I'm a tarot reader. So I don't know. That will go in the maybe. The Ghetto Tarot. I love this deck. Love, 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 love. That's a keeper. This is an interesting deck. Now, I left it the way I got it. It says, Bunched Beets, Produce of USA, Clue number, blah, blah, blah. I got it off the swap table at Reader Studio. Again, I think it was the first year I went to Reader Studio. I just thought that it looked interesting, and whoever had it put it on the table with the book and the deck with the rubber band on it. It's kind of funny. I just was intrigued by it, and so I picked it up. And then as time went by, I found out that it was, I think at the time, like a few months after I got it, I started Googling it. And it was going on eBay for like $700 and $800 and $900. I don't know if it still is, but I was cracking up. I'm like, oh, hey, that was a pretty good option off the swap table. I really don't use it very much, but I kind of like it. So I think I am going to keep it. It's called the Healing Earth Tarot. A Journey to Self-Discovery by Jyoti and David McKee. You know, I need to really think about, is this appropriative? And if so, what are my thoughts about that? And would I want to work with it? So I'm going to think about that. It was published in... This is the first edition, 1994. I don't have the box. I just have the book and the deck with the rubber band. It has, I think, a 5th suit, if I remember correctly. Let's see, the Healing Earth Tarot. Yeah, I think it has a 5th suit. So anyway, this is I'm gonna keep this one. You know what? I think I'll put it in maybe, because I'm not sure. So I'm going to put that in maybe. All right, next up. Ooh. Lightseers. For the longest time, I couldn't find this version of it. I'm like, where did I put that? It was in the way back of my shelf. This is the one with the controversial Ten of Swords, which is right on top, and Chris-Anne asked people not to show it, so I won't. But it has this beautiful green edging, and I used it, and the edging started to chip, and I was like, oh shoot, I don't know, I don't want it to chip. I don't know why. And so when the indie version came out, the mass market version came out, I bought it. And that's the one I used. This has a very chunky guidebook. Let me put the... so there's that. So then I got the indie version, and I edged it. I wanted to try to get that green color, but I think I did the majors in silver and the quartz in one, and I don't know. Anyway, I tried to at least sort of semi-mimic what Chris-Anne did for the edgings. So I don't know what to do about this. I think what I'll do is I will definitely put I'm going to put since I'm not a collector and I'm not going to sell I don't need to keep the indie version in pristine condition, then I should use it. And I'll just put this in the goodbye pile. I don't need 2 versions of it. So this one I'm going to put, I don't really think I'm going to, I'll put that in the keep pile. All right, guys, we're getting there. All right, this was a gift from a friend, the Botanica. It's gorgeous. I mean, the packaging is gorgeous. The book is just, oh my goodness. I'm just pulling the box out. I really find this deck to be beautiful, but I can't really read with it. I don't know. I don't get a sense of what the cards are saying. It's absolutely stunning. The quality, the artwork, the guidebook, the gilding, the packaging. I mean, everything about it is gorgeous. But I've tried to read with it and it doesn't, I don't connect. So I think for now I will put it in the maybe pile, and then we'll see what happens. All right, just a couple left. So this is the Serpent Fire Tarot. So I got this recently in a trade. I mentioned before that I got the Rain Shadow Tarot by Claire Mack because I loved her two oracles, and I just didn't connect with the tarot. And I mentioned that on my channel, and an online friend of mine reached out to me and said, hey, I'm interested in that deck. Let me know if you want to trade. And she didn't really have anything I wanted to trade for. So I said, you know what? You can just have it. I'll just send it to you. I'm not going to use it. There's just no sense in having a beautiful deck sit on a shelf when I know I'm not going to use it. So she just was like, no, I can't do that. I want you to pick something. So this is what I picked, the Serpent Fire. It's an indie deck. Let's see, it's by Devaney Wolf. Let's see, doesn't really, oh, this is the 7th edition, 2018. I can't, no, don't read with it. I mean, I tried to read with it, doesn't do anything for me. I'm gonna put that in the goodbye pile. It's just no sense. I gotta be good about this. The Relative Tarot. I love Carrie Paris. I love what she does. I have, I think, 3 charm kits by her, and I have this and another oracle deck of hers. This is, she does such wonderful, like, past life and ancestor work. So this, this is an oracle and a tarot. It's really, I don't really know where that came from. Look at the edging. Oh, so rich and chocolate brown. It's gorgeous. And again, this is no longer available as an independent. It's only mass market now. So there's that. And then the, let's see, so the, I don't know where the book is for the oracle. This is the oracle. Really, really nice. And I don't know, she just recently came out with a Beloved Dead oracle. I don't know if it's based off of this one, if they're the same or if they're not the same, I'm not sure. But anyway, I'm going to put this in the maybe because I really haven't used it much, and I'm not sure. It comes with a beautiful spread cloth in this lovely packaging with the beautiful edging. So this is a maybe. All right, these are the last few in this section. These are all Robert M. Place decks. So the Alchemical Tarot 4th edition. Nope, goodbye. Because I now have this one, the Tarot of the Alchemical Magnum Opus. And I used this one. I never used the other one. I don't know, it didn't speak to me. So I'm going to keep this one. This is the Buddha Tarot. I traded for it. This was years ago. So before it's been recently re-released as a mass market. So I have this and the book, and I was going to put that in the keep, but I'm going to put that in the maybe. The Burning Serpent Oracle. I have the book for this. This is a collaboration between Robert M. Place and Rachel Pollack. So I think I have to keep that one. And then last but not least, I will never trade this one. This is the Tarot of Vampires. or the Vampire Tarot, sorry, by Robert M. Place. And I traded for this. And I traded, I think, kind of a lame. I put it on a trade group. This was the first deck trade I ever did. This was years ago. Look, I even got it with the beautiful bag and this chunky guidebook. And the reason I wanted this, oh, here it is. The whole reason I wanted this deck was because of this card. Have you ever gotten a deck just for one card? I just had to have it. Pixie is the Queen of Cups. Now, one thing I absolutely adore about this deck is the pointy edges. Sometimes when you're shuffling, you literally feel like the cards are taking a bite out of you. And I think that is so freaking funny and clever. And I once saw a video where someone said they had to round the corners. And I was like, no, that's the whole point. They're supposed to bite you. It's a Vampire Tarot. Anyway, I love that deck. And, you know, in another month or so, I will be diving into that. So it really is only a month out of the year deck for me, but I love it, and it's got that great Pixie card. And on Pixie's birthday in February, I think it's February 16th, I pull that card out and put it on my altar and do a little honoring of Pixie. All right, so round 2, I'm keeping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I would say I'm keeping half, and about a third are going in the goodbye pile, and maybe a third in the keep pile. There's more in the goodbye than in the maybe. So that was a pretty good round, way better than the first round. So anyway, thanks for coming along with me on my culling journey. Let me know what you think of the choices I've made, and if you have any advice for me about the choices I've made, let me know. Take care. Bye.